remember, no, I'm not this body. I'm not just these stories. I'm not just the voice in my head. So this moment right here, this one right here, this breath matters. So I trust myself. I trust myself. I love myself. It is the essence of being that who you truly are. So this is how we get elevated. This is how we shift from a mindset that is stuck in a certain way of thinking, acting, and feeling. But you want to make sure that you are saying those things from a place of elevation. Hello, gorgeous, and welcome to another edition of the Spiritual Rebel podcast. Particular podcast, I want to talk about my favorite topic, which is about changing the way you think. Yes, belief systems. Now, most people think that they're going to change belief systems by becoming, first of all, aware, right, of what they're thinking, and then hopefully in the moment when they need to think differently, they're going to be able to come up with that new way of thinking. Nice idea, but it's not quite how it works, because these ways of thinking, these limiting ways of thinking, are very deep in the subconscious mind. So even if you were to be able to become aware of them, and awareness is important, it is a first step, right? But even if you were becoming aware of these thoughts, there needs to be some specific actions taken to disrupt those thoughts, yes, and to actually get new thoughts in place, right? And this is where people get very resistant. So, for example, things like mantras or affirmations, that is a tool that can be used to get you into a new framework of thinking. But the missing part that most people don't understand is that you need to use that mantra or those new thoughts with a certain energy from a certain space within yourself. If you say that mantra or say that new thought, but you're disconnected from it emotionally and you don't believe it, you will literally be wasting your time. I have this extremely powerful mantra that goes like this: I trust myself. I love myself. I honor myself. I respect myself. I trust myself. I love myself. I honor myself. I respect myself. Now, when I introduce this mantra to people, a lot of people struggle, yes, because even the first sentence, I trust myself, it's difficult to say if you don't actually trust yourself, right? I love myself. If you're feeling a lot of self-loathing, a lot of criticizing, a lot of judging of yourself, it's very difficult to say, I love myself, right? I honor myself, or even the understanding these words, like what does it even mean to honor myself, right? And we can go into that later. What about I respect myself? Yes, very powerful. The ability to be able to respect yourself, respect your thoughts, respect what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and what's happening to you. And also to make sure that we're setting our boundaries that shows that we respect ourselves, right? So this mantra, I trust myself, I love myself, I honor myself, I respect myself, when you aren't used of saying it, it can feel like a lie. It can feel like I'm lying to myself. So what I'll do is I'll take my clients through a activation that gets them to connect to their soul and their spirit. Yes. I always say your soul is peace, inner peace is one breath away. And that means inner peace is about connecting to your spirit. When you connect to your spirit, your soul, you come into presence. You come into the present moment. Yes, you pull your energy out of the past. You pull your energy out of the future, and you really can stay here in what I call the vertical plane of consciousness. So when you breathe and you slow your breathing down, yes, you get in touch with your body and you get into the body can only ever be here and now. Your body can't go to the past. Your body can't go to the future. Your body is here and now. So your body becomes your presence temple. Yes, your home. And when you focus on the breath and you focus on your body, right, you start to bring your awareness more deeply into presence, more deeply into your spirit, more deeply into your soul. And as you do that, your sense of self expands beyond your physical body. Yes, you become aware that you are not just the physical body. You're the energy that surrounds the physical body. You're the chair. You are the forest. You are the sky. You are the multitude of stars in the universe. You are planets. You are infinite. You're everything and you're nothing. You're here and you're everywhere. You're whole and complete. You do not need fixing. You are limitless. You're limitless. Your limitless potential and your limitless energy. Inside of this connection to what I call the divine self, your soul self, inner self, the true self, you are able to see yourself from a different perspective. That perspective is expanded. It's an expanded way of viewing yourself. So when through breath, through my guided experience, I get people connected to that aspect of themselves. And then when we speak this mantra, when we speak this affirmation, when we speak these powerful words, they're speaking it from their soul presence. They're speaking it from their soul self. I trust myself. I'm not trusting Mahima, the insecure, woman that's maybe looking for attention or validation. I trust myself, the spirit, the soul that lives in this body, the part of me that came into this world with nothing, and the part of me that will leave with nothing. The consciousness that is limitless, yes, that is here in this room, but that can also connect with the further star and planet in the galaxy, that I can be a part of it all. I trust myself, that self. So then it's easy to claim that. When you're in the experience of being connected to yourself and you say, I trust myself, you are coding into the little self, the insecure self. You start to code the truth of what it means to trust yourself. It's another dimension, right? So I trust myself. I trust myself. I love myself. When you start to understand that when you're connected to your soul, you are love. You're not looking for love. You're not needing to give love. You're not needing to receive love. You are love. Love is the DNA of your soul. Love is the DNA of your spirit. So love isn't something that you need to get. It isn't something that you can lose. It isn't something that can be destroyed or taken away from you. It is your essence. It is who you are. I love myself. I love myself. It is the essence of being that who you truly are. So when you connect to that part of yourself that doesn't need fixing, isn't broken, it's so easy to say, I love myself, because you feel you are love. Yes? I trust myself. I love myself. I honor. I honor. Honor is the, it's a devotion to the soul self. Yes? I devote my attention, I devote my energy to my soul self. That means I give space in my daily life for my soul to guide me, for my soul to carry me, for my soul to decide for me. I invite stillness and listening and being. Being is enough. I honor that I don't need to do anything to be a good person, to be validated, right? When I sit and close my eyes and go inside and connect with the divine soul and spirit that I came into this world as and that I will leave as, and I sit and feel and breathe and be that, I am honoring myself. When I understand that that part of me has all the answers that I need for my business, for my relationship, for anything what I'm trying to accomplish, I can go inside and listen, and I can download the information, the guidance from my spirit, and I honor that. I honor that there is a wealth of wisdom that comes from my spirit, comes from my heart, comes from being connected to myself. That is the I honor myself. I give space. I understand the power within me. I honor myself. I respect myself. I respect my body. Yes. And I set boundaries in terms of what is going to happen to me sexually, mentally, emotionally, physically, right? I respect myself. I respect that I have desires to accomplish things, to achieve things, or to have a certain standard of living. I respect that I want a certain type of man to be in my life, and I want to be treated a certain way. I respect that I would love to live in a certain lifestyle. Yes, I respect my wishes. I respect my dreams. I respect what I want. I respect myself. I have the right to take up space. I have the right to have wishes, dreams, and desires. I have the right to set my boundaries and to speak my truth. I respect myself. So when these affirmations, when these mantras, when these sentences are said from a place of when you are elevated, yes, when you are connected to your essence, to your divine self, and then you say the words, I trust myself, I love myself, I honor myself, I respect myself, I trust myself, I love myself, I honor myself, I respect myself. And you literally start to wash the limiting beliefs of, I don't like myself, I don't trust myself, I do not respect myself, right? Those thoughts, you start to rewire your brain. You start to think differently. You start to feel it. Yes, you feel it emotionally because you're connected to another aspect of yourself. When you're saying those words, you are connected to your spirit and you believe. You say the words and they feel nourishing, they feel healing, they are the antidote to the negativity in your head. That is how to use mantras powerfully. That is how to use affirmations powerfully. Yes, to understand the frequency and from where you want to speak those words. And here's the thing, you can connect to your spirit like this. I always say the heart, the spirit is literally two. It's you're only ever making two decisions. One decision is to lean into your ego, to lean into contraction, closing, yes, and the other one is expansion, enlightenment, opening. Those are the two decisions you're making all the time. Throughout a course of a day, you wake up in the morning and there's the first choice. Yes, you're either going to go into some story, negative story, or you're going to go into your meditation, into elevation, into connecting to your spiritual self. Yes, you're going to start your day, something's going to happen, and you're either going to go into, this is going to be a shitty day, I'm going to hate this day, I already want to go back to bed, or you're going to go into, I've got this, you know, my life isn't defined by whether good or bad things happen. I'm connected to my soul. I'm connected to my spirit, regardless of what happens. And therefore, I accept and embrace the day as it comes. I have the power, I have the wisdom to deal with whatever challenge comes my way. So every minute of every day, you're only ever making two decisions. Yes, identification with the ego mind. Yes, small contraction, reducing, or identifying with your spirit, your soul, expansion, opening. So when you understand this through your breath, yes, through conscious, also through your feminine energy, right? So masculine energy, we have a lot of toxic male these days, which is do, go, right? And when you are connecting to your spirit, your feminine energy comes up. There's an allowing. Yes, there's a surrendering. There's a slowing down. And in the slowing down, there's a perspective shift. And in that perspective shift, you get to choose how you show up. Yes, what you think, what you feel, how you react to what is happening in your life. A lot of us aren't taught this. So we're often very reactive to everything that's going on. And we never stop to think, do I want to react like this? Yes, there's maybe an initial reaction when something happens, like, but then maybe a few seconds later, or a minute later, or 5 minutes later, there's the thought like, if this were the last breath I was taking, do I want to stay angry about this? No, I do not. So I'm going to let it go. Yes, I'm going to let it go. I'm going to come back to flow. I'm going to come back to bird's eye view. Yes, is this worth my mental well-being? Is this worth getting tense and producing negative drugs in my system that are going to make me sick? No, it's not. So I release and I come back to the feminine energy, flow, yes, dignity, love, elevation. Yes, I come back to I trust myself. I can handle anything that life brings me. I love myself. So therefore, I have everything I need within this next breath. I honor myself. Yes, I give space for my light. I give space for my brilliance. I give space for the beauty that is within me to exist. I honor it and give it space every day. I step aside. I step out of the way. I stop blocking. Yeah, I stop staying busy. And I respect myself. I respect my time. I respect my boundaries. I respect my body, what I put into it and what I allow to happen to it. So this is how we get elevated. This is how we shift from a mindset that is stuck in a certain way of thinking, acting, and feeling into a new mindset. Yes, the willingness to take on new ideas, to say new words. Yes, because we're very used of the negative words. We're very used of the negative thought patterns. We feel very comfortable talking about how we hate ourselves, we hate our lives, nothing ever works. We're very comfortable in the negative. And what I'm inviting is to get very comfortable with the positive energy, to get very comfortable with speaking from your soul, speaking from your spirit. Yeah, speaking from the deeper truth that's inside of you. And here's the thing, this is not learning something new. This is about allowing what has always been there. Yes, it's like coming back home to what is here and now. And actually, for some of you listening to this, I can imagine that the mind is saying, it's very difficult. What she's saying, I understand it, but it's very difficult. Here's the thing, I discovered it was easy. I discovered it was easy. And here's what made it easy. When I discovered that my soul and that my spirit was real, I made a decision to start spending as much time as I could connected to it. Yes. So I didn't just ignore the experience of being highly connected to my soul and spirit. And I didn't just put that aside, ignore it, and just try to go and pretend like I don't know about that. No, I honored myself, and therefore I allowed myself to again and again and again remember who I am. Remember, no, I'm not this body. I'm not just these stories. I'm not just the voice in my head. I'm not my bank account. I'm not my job. I'm not the role as a wife. I'm not a best friend. I'm not a daughter. I am the spirit that embodies this body. Yes, my time here is very transient. That means I have no idea how much time I have here. So this moment right here, this one right here, this breath matters. It matters. And I choose to expand and enjoy and celebrate this breath. I choose to live this moment with more laughter, with more focus on beauty, with being more creative. Yes, with taking a simple day, making that day into a joyful expression of authentic living because I decided to do that. I started to honor myself. That honoring meant I stayed around teachers, I stayed around communities that allowed me to stay connected to that. Because, of course, if I had just, didn't honor that, jumped on a plane, went, back to Zimbabwe, instead of staying in India around these teachings, I wouldn't be the person I am today. Yeah. If I hadn't honored my enlightenment experience of connecting to my spirit and soul, and I just sort of chucked that to the side and went on with my life as if that didn't happen, I would have gone back to Zimbabwe. I would have stayed in the brainwashing of my religion, my culture, my society, and I would have never come as far to liberating myself from those negative belief systems. Having honored myself that no, this aspect of me is real. It's as real as anything else I've experienced here. And giving time to learn from these teachers. Yes, time to be around a community of like minded people that were into joy, into bliss, into ecstatic living, into creativity and abundance that allowed me to build that muscle. Yes, so that I could then stand on my own 2 feet and be in that world, regardless of whether I had a community or teacher. I had built the muscle to stay connected to myself and to my well being. So many people in this world are losing their sense of well being because they haven't understood that unless you change the program that's running in the unconscious part of your brain, in your unconscious systems, you will not be able to change the results that you have in your life. So if you're constantly coming up against money problems, something needs to change in the relationship you have with money. If you're constantly coming up against health issues and, mental and physical health issues, it's because something needs to change in the relationship with your body and with yourself. We need to create internal shifts, and those internal shifts come through what I call activations and meditations. Yes, it's the Mahima methodology. Let's first get you connected to your soul, connected to your spirit. And when you're there, it's easy to claim your beauty, to claim your brilliance, to claim your light, to claim your power. It's easy. And once you claim all of that, yes, you are able to take this powerful energy and focus on healing yourself. So that part of you where you have the limiting beliefs or you have the, negative programming starts to transform, but it transforms because you're connected to a greater part of you. Most people are trying to do that the other way around. They're trying to fix something in the ego mind, hoping that it's going to give them a bigger connection to their soul. Whereas on my campus, we're like, no, you can connect to your soul like this. You know, that's what happened to me. That's why I started my journey, right? In my first ever meditation, literally breaths away so quickly. I was just connected. And experiencing something amazing and awesome, which is what my students tell me when they work with me. This expansion, this beauty, they didn't even know it existed. They've been living in the misery of the ego mind. And then discovering that no, there's a whole world. Yeah, it's like you're living in a house in one room, then you open the door and find out there's a whole castle and a whole world outside. That is what living in the ego mind can be like. And liberating yourself from that can be like discovering this whole new playground where you trust yourself, you love yourself, you honor yourself, and you respect yourself. And that these words carry a frequency that you can then teach to others. Yes? And that's what the world needs. It needs leaders that can pass these messages on, but not just through the words, but through the frequency that these words hold, and therefore the greater meaning of the energetic power within these words. So I hope this has been a helpful, another podcast session here for you to understand the power of affirmations, mantras, anything you repeat, repeat, repeat. But you want to make sure that you are saying those things from a place of elevation or in a group where other people are elevated. And therefore, when you hear them, you also believe them because you can feel it in their words. And then it opens a portal inside of you. So that's another way to get connected as well. Okay, angels, thank you for joining another episode of the Spiritual Rebel podcast. And I can't wait to see you on the next episode. Try this mantra, start saying it, get yourself into that soulful place, and then go there. I trust myself. I love myself. I honor myself. I respect myself. Love, love, love. Love for yourself, love for the world, and love for others. Love, love, love. Thank you. Bye.